Alrighty, I thought I'd answer some questions regarding this recent breakthrough of the DJI HD FPV Video Out for the V1 and V2 DJI FPV goggles. I've just gotten off a call with Jack from D3 Out. You might remember D3 Out. Those were the guys who released the FCC hack for free for the DJI FPV drone. And it's actually Jack's smart controller that was used to reverse engineer the video out. But it was Junus who has done all of the coding work to get the video actually working. But it was a collaboration effort. If you want to at least pay back Jack the money that he paid for his smart controller, I believe he is selling it on Facebook somewhere. And by the way, if you have any questions regarding this breakthrough, then join the Discord group, because it is very busy at the moment and there are a lot of people there who will just answer your questions way better than I can. You can of course buy Junus or Jack a coffee, and I'll put a link in the video description below for that. I suggest that you do, because they are doing some amazing things which I will address when answering some of these questions. So starting off here, is Zadig being installed on the goggles? A simple answer is no. Zadig is so that it can load the correct driver for the goggles on the computer. Now you might be concerned about that, but you shouldn't. You see, when you plug the goggles into a computer, it's got sort of sub-levels of functionality. So it can show as a mass storage device, it can update the firmware, and the bulk interface isn't being used. It just so happens that when you plug the goggles into a computer, Windows assigns a driver, and it's the wrong driver if we want to get the video spat out to it. So that's all the Zadig driver is doing. But anyway, let's take a look at some more questions. Video out on DJI V1. Yes, V1 and V2. Does it work for Mac? Because for some reason I can't extract the files. It does work on Mac. Go into the Discord server for information regarding that. Very nice. Now let's hope there comes an Android version. There is already an Android version in the works. If you go into the Discord server now, under notifications, there's a video showing it working. I imagine it's going to be out very soon. It is moving so fast. Even my video might be out of date by the time that I have published it. Cool, need to get it and the OSD to an iPhone. iPhone might not be as lucky with iPhone because it is so under lock and key. I think there might be a way from speaking to Jack, but don't get your hopes up on iPhone. Mac OS, absolutely, but iPhone, maybe not. Android, well, yes, it's already working on Android. This works great on my Air units. I can't get video out on any of my Vistas though. If you watch my video that I'm looking at here, it tells you that if you've got temp control turned on with your Vista, which most people have so they don't overheat, then it's not outputting any video. It's the same with the smart controller. You won't get video from a smart controller if you've got temp control on. If you were to arm your quadcopter, then you would get video, but the best thing to do is turn temp control off. Make sure that you've got a fan blowing on it though, otherwise, you know, it might overheat in the house. Damn, I was hoping to fly my 65 Sammy, but after trying it, the lag is deplorable, 2 to 3 seconds. How dare you? I find it amazing that we have this breakthrough that's clearly got so much potential. I mean, the potential for live streaming from your phone, having multiple streams set up on a computer to race, you know, tablets, the lot, and this isn't good enough. Unbelievable. Well, there is lag there, and that's because it's not outputting raw HDMI, it's outputting video which has to be decoded by a decoder. And just trying different settings in there, they have already halved the latency. I think they've got it down to 100 milliseconds now, so you'd be able to sort of fly a plane through a screen with that, no problems, but you get lag with the 700 quid smart controller, so I think that is always going to be the case. Might be cool, but I don't have a PC in the field with me. Well, you should get an Android phone because soon you're going to be able to have that. It only works on a Cadet Vista or also on the bigger, older version of the Air unit. Yes, works on both of them. Stupid question, but what's all the fuss about? So I could fly FPV from a laptop? No, not really. You see, you can buy the smart controllers for 700 quid and it sticks a DJI logo on there and you can have your video out and then an HDMI lead out to that if you want it to go to a monitor. Now, this video here was just demonstrating that they have cracked the video out. And yes, this time it's on a computer, but there's going to be an Android app. The possibilities are absolutely endless. We didn't get to write notes to the guys, but we definitely bought them a cup of coffee. Yeah, you can do that. Links in the video description. The real question is that if this was already working, why were/are DJI holding off letting us use it? Well, they weren't. If you buy a 700 quid smart controller, then you could use it with the DJI logo over the top of it. Look, I think DJI planned to maybe license the video out so that, you know, if you wanted to do a race with DJI drones, then you could. But it seems like they've wiped their hands of it and they went with the DJI FPV drone. We haven't seen an update from them for 8 months, I think it is. And whether I think DJI is going to patch it, I really don't think so. If they do, I'm sure these guys are clever enough to figure it out anyways. Is this for the V2 only? No, V1 and V2. No need to buy a V2 goggle. Now you get to do the Mac version. I think that's already been done. Check the Discord. Superb Mac OS version again. Yes, I think that has been done. Anybody here having troubles? It's auto temp control every time. Yeah, see here as someone's got it working on Linux. Andy, can you try to send the FPV feed on an analog OLED goggle? What is the quality and the latency? I think the way to do this is going to be a Raspberry Pi. It costs about 40 quid, something like that. And then you can have HDMI out. That's what the smart controller does. It does exactly the same thing. So it decodes the video coming down the USB cable and then it outputs the HDMI of Android. Something that I've thought about to try is get like a HDMI splitter out on Android. So when the Android app outputs the video, you can then output that separately to HDMI, but I can't confirm if that's working yet. I'm going to try it myself. We need to get all the OSD info now. I wish it worked on the phone, OSD info. Yeah, so the on-screen display on the DJI goggles is an overlay to a subtitle file. So it's not completely out of the question whether that can be accessed, especially with all of the clever people in Discord now, but I don't think it's on the high priority list, but I would like to see that achieved as well. Do you have to restart the program on the PC every time the battery gets unplugged from the quad? The answer is yes at the moment, but things are changing so much, so we'll have to see what the progress is when a proper app is produced. Now need video in. Freebird, I think this is something that is likely to never happen. The video in feature that is on the V2 goggles for the DJI FPV drone is done in a completely different way. I would say never, but for now, say never. So there you go. Those are my questions answered. If you have any more, then I encourage you to join the Discord group. It is growing really quick, and so it should. As always, thanks so much for watching. Please continue to subscribe. Cheers.